Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Welcome to another sunny Winnipeg. And speaking of sun, our sunrise this morning was almost identical to yesterday morning's. The only difference is it was about a minute and 20 seconds later than it was yesterday. Yep. And it was a little bit more to the right on the bridge than it was yesterday. I think that probably by the end of the month, if our friends who are walking, Don and Bridget, if Don and Bridget keep at the same time, by the end of the month, they're going to be passing through sometimes before the sun comes up. Until we have the time change. Why don't we just all get together and stop this stupid daylight savings time stuff? Yeah, as I mentioned before, we should all be on the same page when it comes to that. In fact, we should be on Winnipeg time. Like there's Greenwich Main time. Well, I think it should be Winnipeg Main time, and we'll take that marker that's in England. That says this is where the time starts and stops, or whatever it is, and we'll move it over here, and we'll put it at Portage Avenue and Main Street, the center of Winnipeg. That's that. It's settled. We're going to do that now, right? I don't think so. Anyway, speaking of eyes watering, yesterday evening I went out on my e-bike. It was kind of cold. I put my toque on underneath my helmet, and I had my jacket on, and I had sort of a special little neck scarf, and I was going along, and I was probably about just about to the end of the route, going north, and all of a sudden my eyes start to water and sting, and my nose starts to run. I actually had to stop and wipe my eyes. It was like I passed through some chemical or I don't think there's plants that do any sort of spawning this time of year, but it was like I suddenly passed through something that caused my eyes to sting. I never had that happen before. I was mentioning it to my neighbor this morning when I was outside. Anyway, maybe it's old age. Maybe there's nothing in the air. Maybe it's me. Yeah, funny things are starting to happen. Like I think we should move the center of time to Winnipeg. Okay. One of the viewers had mentioned that he uses a rubber eraser. Just let me carefully get this here. If you remember, we put the panel line accent color on this little part here. I know it's blurring out, isn't it? Okay. And he was saying he uses a rubber eraser, and very carefully he would go across the top of it, and it would remove the panel line, the dark part of the panel line, and leave what's in the cracks. I think I might just try that. Somebody else was suggesting using like a Q-tip and some isopropyl alcohol. That would work too. I think a Q-tip, unless I use one of Tennessee Jim's Q-tips, that might work. That might work. Yeah. I don't know if I don't think I have a pencil with an eraser on it. I might have, maybe in the back room. I'll check. But we've only got this one little raft here. We could just give it a try. Stick the macro lens on, and I'll make a fool of myself trying to mess around here. Okay, let's recompose. I would think, all being well, we should get a lot, if not all, of these parts down. Now, mind you, these things here, they have to be plugged into the sides of the superstructure in the right places, before we can drop the 20 millimeter guns down onto them. I can't see where they go. Well, the manual will tell us. Okay, let's get going here. Okay, I did find a pencil that had an eraser on it, but as you can see here, it's too wide to fit down in there, at least flat all the way along, and I don't want to cut down the eraser. Now, just let me get one of Tennessee Jim's Q-tips here. Now, I think that this will work well as long as I don't poke it down like that. That's going to remove the panel line color from, down in the cracks, and that's what we don't want. In fact, that's why I don't want to use an ordinary Q-tip, because an ordinary Q-tip is just got too many. It's just too soft, and I think this will work as long as I keep it basically flat like this. So let's just dip this in some isopropyl here and moisten it, and then see what will happen if we sort of scratch the surface off there. And if we do take the number, what did we paint this? Is this 66 or 77? Oh, this is the 66, because this deck here is the 77. Okay, so yeah, let me recompose here a little bit. Okay, I've got some isopropyl 99% on here, but now that I'm looking at it up close, I'm thinking that possibly I've got too much on it's too saturated, so maybe just try and wick a little off of it here, just a little bit. Okay, let's give this a try. Oh yeah. Give it a little bit of a turn here. Yeah, that does sort of bring it out, doesn't it? Yeah, that actually did bring it out. I think this is actually the first time I've done this. I know I've thought about it before, but... Okay. That made it, yeah, that actually did bring it out. Okay, this section right here, it only has to do with assembling the parts. This section has to do with placing them, and that's where we are right now. And I guess if we're going to start and work our way from left to right, that way we're not going to miss too much. Very first thing is this thing that we were just working on here. And one of the viewers mentioned that these front two turrets are called A and B. So I guess this front one would be A, and this would be B. So this goes right in the front of B turret, right there. And the ones on the back are called, I think it was Y and Z, or something like that. I forget now. I have to reread the comment. Anyway, or I guess it'd be X, Y, Z, or X, Y, Z, depending where you live. Anyway, yeah, let's recompose here and move our ship in nice and close and glue this down. I think I'll probably just use, I don't know, I'll have to think about it. I'll have to see how it fits. It won't take very much to hold it in place. This whole curved area here goes right up against the side of the turret, and if we get any glue there, it's definitely not going to let go. Okay. Time is marching on here. I know you can't see the clock, but it is 21 minutes after 12 already. And I was setting up to do just what I'm doing right now. And I look up out my front window and I can see Merv coming over. Looks like he's carrying something. Well, he's got a couple of big cucumbers. And he says, do you still have the cucumbers I brought over the other day, or something to that effect? And I said no. I said, or rather I said yes. I said, I've still got them. I was thinking of making cucumber soup, and then I said, you know what? Now that I've got these additional cucumbers, I think I better do that. So right now in my pressure cooker, at least for the next 45 minutes or so, we're going to be making soup. Now this should glue in there fairly good. I was kind of concerned that perhaps the little pegs might not fit in the holes, but it just seems to be falling right in. I think I'm going to swing the camera around to the other side and have it look this way, and that way I can actually get in here a little easier. Okay, here's my thinking on this. I had originally thought of, putting glue all along the bottom of this thing and then putting it down. But what's going to happen is I'm going to make a mess of my deck tan. So I think what I'm going to do, now remember, this is the one that drips. So I'm just going to put it along here. That should be more than enough, because that is a tight fit there. Oh, this is the Tamiya, I guess you'd call it the thick. There we go. Okay, when that glue dries, it should be a nice solid fit. Does that look like it's in all the way? Does it look like it's back all the way? Yeah, it is. Okay, that's not going to fall out of there. Now, if you remember, the idea of this thing is to protect these little guys right here. Okay, moving along from left to right, we come to our platforms. And yeah, I think it's a good idea to put these on right now, because if I try to put them on after we're putting in these pieces here, the M22s, I think what could happen is I'll accidentally break off the 22s. So now when you know where they go, it makes perfect sense. I'll move in a little bit here. Okay. Here's our 23. And this tongue affair that you see, it goes right in here. Now, we are going to have a problem in that what's going to happen when I glue this in place, it's going to want to slump down. It's not going to want to stay there. And the same thing with our number 15 here. It goes over here. This is actually the first time I'm fitting them, so yeah, I think that with I'm wondering if maybe I was to use quick setting, then I wouldn't have to hold it very long, and it would tend to want to stay there. Now I don't care if, well, hey, it stays there by itself. Now it's not going to once it gets the glue on there, because everything's going to be soft. Now it doesn't matter if I get glue along the bottom there. So maybe what I could do is I could put the glue along the bottom, because if it does ooze down the side of the bulkhead, like above the portholes, it's not going to matter. It's too bad we're not going to see those, unless a person was to come in and look at it from a low angle, which nobody's going to. Okay, let's recompose here. Let's just, for the fun of it, try the the quick setting. I wonder if there's something I could hold that up with so that it's perfectly level here. What I need is a little straight, little tiny straight edge to put on here just so that it's, you know. Okay, I'll think of something. Just move that out of the way for the time being. And here's the plan. We're just doing a dry run here now. Alright, now if I was to take a little block like this, now let's be careful I don't break the little ladder in behind there. Okay, there. If I could hold it like that, I think it'd be good. I was going to use the quick setting. Let's just, for the fun of it, try the quick setting and see if it's going to work. And the problem is it sets so quickly. I'll just move in a little bit here. I'm just trying to soggy everything up a little bit here. Okay, now let's get this in there. It went before. Now because the glue's in there and I'm trying to be in a hurry, everything's going wrong sort of. Now watch out. Okay, if I press down on this and hold it flat, I do believe this is going to work. I should actually be able to let go here in just a moment, and it should stay there. But it won't be real strong, will it? It's not holding. It's not holding. Well, it's all right. Let's forget the quick setting idea. That's not going to work. Let's use the extra thin and accept the fact that I might have to repaint. You know, I should have my other glasses on. Okay, this is the extra thin. Okay, now let's try and get this up. But I need something to push down on that. I'm afraid if I put my finger on it, it's gonna... Yes, I made a mess of it. Okay, I should have known that was going to happen. Okay, I'm just sort of eyeballing it now as to what is level. It looks like that tongue has to be pushed down just a little bit here. Let's try this straight edge here. Yeah, I'm going to have to... On the other hand, there's going to be something mounted there. I wonder what it is. I found out what it is that goes in these 4 holes here. I'm just putting some extra thin along there, hoping it's going to work its way into the crack and just sort of meld everything just a little bit stronger. Okay. Now what goes into those holes is these ammo boxes. They're going to basically cover up a lot of that mess that I've just made there. At least that's my hope. Okay, here's what's happening. Now I think you know what I usually say about right now. Time has really gotten away on me. We didn't get as much done as I thought I was going to, and that's the truth. Yeah, my neighbor just got back with his load of groceries, and he picked up the bananas that I forgot to get with my order from yesterday. The cucumber soup is done, and the way I do it is as soon as the pressure cooker cools down to the place where I can get the lid off, before it starts to, everything is nice and hot and boiling in there, I immediately put it into these sealers. And yeah, it preserves it. The heat kills any bacteria. I've never had anything go bad. And I've been doing it like this for 40 years or maybe more. Yeah, it works good. Another thing that I usually say is we're not going to have too many more nice days like this, and I want to take advantage of it, and I want to get out. So I'm going to call her quits for today. You knew that was coming, right? Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.